What's going on, everybody? Just wanted to give a quick hay season update. So, based on some of the shorts that I've put out and the longer form videos that I have sitting waiting to edit, you might have noticed it's been about 2 weeks since I've made any comment about hay season. Well, I have had nothing but problems with the typical ancient equipment that I own and use. So, first of all, the hay bine. It's a New Holland 467 7-footer, and I purchased that last fall along with a Super 68 hay liner, also New Holland. And my idea was I wanted to be able to do all of my hay with my wide front H, because at the end of last season, I had kind of told some of the contract baling people that I dealt with last year to shove off because of deals that fell through, or just they didn't want to uphold their ends of the bargain, and it was time that I didn't have to spend. So at our property, I really only have about 3 acres that I cut for hay. So sold the 856, sold the 492 nice big bine, sold the 315 baler, and just downsized. Bought a 7-foot bine, bought a smaller baler. Everything is more than capable of running off of my H. So, first problems that occurred. Input shaft bearings in the hay bine. Oh, speaking of hay, get out of the way for this guy. Self-propel, that'd be a nice machine to have. Hay bine. When I bought it, the input shaft bearings and seal was shot. Knew that, not a big deal. Bearings, braces, seal, gaskets, ordered it all up from Messick's, and no big deal. Got it thrown together. That was the job that I was working on when I threw that short up about 2 weeks ago. The output shaft seal for the pulley that runs the belt drive to power the entire machine, that seal leaks too. Fair enough, I ordered another one up, and with the intention of throwing that in once everything was done with first cutting. So, got it, tested it, everything works, cool. End up finding out that a property that we lease has about 6 acres of a really nice planted alfalfa mix crop, and they're tired of dealing with the baler that they were using previously, and pretty much told me, you already take care of your horses here, you already take care of our horses here, just if you want it, have at the crop. So awesome. Now we're getting back to the point where wish I wouldn't have sold that nicer, newer equipment that I owned for nothing. I made good money on it when I sold it, but either way. So, fine, I'll do cuttings this year with it first. Is going to be the hardest on the equipment, and we'll squeak through the rest of the year, and I'll buy some nicer stuff again in the fall. No big deal. Towing the bine, the 15 miles from where it was to that property, I popped the tire. So the bine now has a rebuilt gearbox, 2 brand new wheels, or sorry, 2 brand new tires, 2 brand new tubes, and then started cutting. Made it about halfway through our first pass around the headland, 1.2% of the way done with this field. Bine just keeps clogging up. It's overgrown, thick, first cutting, and the main issue that I'm having is my tractor cannot go slow enough in first gear. The H just can't. So I had purchased a John Deere 3038E at auction about 2 weeks prior, and it was just sitting up in Wisconsin. So fine, the hell with it. Run up there, grab that hydrostatic machine, 38 horse turbo diesel, little 1.5 liter 3-cylinder Yanmar. So I'm up a little on horsepower, and I have infinite amount of speeds that I can travel at. Sweet. Go grab that, finish my first pass, no more clogs, no issues. Great, this is gonna get done. About halfway into my second pass, the the bushing on the sickle bar just disintegrated. Tore up the sickle bar and pretty much left me dead in the water again. So now I am, you might not be able to see it, but I have a trailer full of stuff from an estate loadout that we did yesterday. It was two 53-foot lowboys full of generators and light plants, another semi deadheaded down to pick up a 500 kilowatt semi-trailer unit, and I've got some other smalls on my trailer that I'm running up there right now. So as you could probably tell, when hay season comes around, I usually try and just devote like a week to messing with that and nothing else. Well, that hasn't really happened. So now at this point, I'm fighting weather, fighting timetables, fighting timelines, and I'm working, doing my normal thing, driving all over the place, buying and selling in the middle of it. Well, after this trip is complete, I have to run and go pick up an online order for knife sections for the sickle bar. So at this point, the sickle bar will have all new knife sections, couple new rock guards, new bushings. Pretty much everything will be rebuilt, and I have a spare sickle, so I ordered a second bushing, and I have double the knife sections coming. So if this ever happens again, I can swap one out, put the next one in, and be back up cutting within an hour or so. So by the end of this very, very late now first cutting hay, I will have a very expensive but very rebuilt New Holland 467 hay vine. Luckily, knock on wood, I've already used the baler. I did some baling with it late last fall, and it worked flawlessly. And then I did about 200 bales for a neighbor about 2 weeks ago, because his the PTO clutch assembly on his baler just shit the bed. So it's gotten a fair amount of use. I also did rake and bale the 30 bales, I think, yeah, 30 or 31 bales that I got just off the 1.5 headland passes off of that field that I'm in the process of trying to cut. So as of now, baler's good to go. I did buy a new to me rake. First time in a long time I've hopped on Facebook Marketplace and just bought something, but bought a International Model 35 rake, which is exactly what I was using last year. However, this one has the front dolly wheels, which is something I've wanted to try. Came from a retired guy in town that just kind of buys them up and fixes them, and, you know, does the same thing I do, and I have no problem with that. He went through the gearbox, resealed it, filled it with corn head grease, two new tires on it, probably 20 or 30 of the little fingers that spin around and grab the hay. So it was 100% ready to go, and I probably only paid $300 or $400 more than I would have had to pay for a shit one at auction, and I didn't have to think about it. I put it right to work, and it was awesome. So the baling videos are coming. The world has just been working against me. So sit tight and we will have some good content coming up. And at the end here, I'm just going to throw up a couple little clips that I've got of raking and cutting, maybe some raking and baling. Have a good one, guys.